Hello everyone, I hope you are doing very well on this course. I know these topics might be very confusing when you first come across them, but with repeatedly listening to these lectures and practicing them, you will get used to them and use these data structures whenever you need them. The key here is to practice more and try to understand the logic behind any topic that we are discussing in these lectures over here. By now, you must be familiar that when we delete a node from any type of linked list, we have three cases, which are deleting the first node, deleting the last node, and deleting any given node in the circular double linked list. Here again we have three cases. So let's begin with deleting a node from the beginning of circular double linked list. So we know that we have two cases over here. The first case is there is only one node in our circular double linked list. So how can we delete this node from this circular double linked list? So we know that in circular double linked list, if there is only one node in the list, so this node references to itself. So as you see, the previous and next references of this node points to itself. So if the node points itself, the garbage collection cannot delete this. So the first step over here, so we will delete the link which points itself. So by setting previous and next references to null, we can delete this link over here. So here we are updating previous and next references to null. After updating these, the link which points to itself gets deleted. Now the next step is we need to delete a link between head and node 1 over here. So how can we do this? So if we update head reference to null and the link between head and node 1 over here gets destroyed. Then the last step is we need to delete a link from tail to node 1. Once again we are updating tail to null, so the link between tail and node 1 gets destroyed. So now there is no any reference to the node 1, which means that this is eligible for garbage collection. So the garbage collector comes and destroys this. So with this, deleting of a node in circular double linked list is complete, in which we have only one node. Now let's continue to the second case. Let's say our circular double linked list looks like this, and we want to delete node 1 over here. So in this case, there are more than one node in circular double linked list. So the first step over here, we need to update last node's reference to point to the node 2 over here. So by setting last node's reference to 111, we are creating a link between node 4 and node 2. By doing so, a link between node 4 and node 1 gets destroyed. And the next step is we need to create a connection between head and node 2 over here. So we need to update head reference to point to node 2. So we know that node 2's physical location is 111. So if we set head to 111, it will create a connection between head and node 2 over here. So by creating a connection between head and node 2, the connection between head and node 1 will be destroyed. And finally, we need to create a reverse link between node 2 and node 4. So if we update node 2's previous reference to the location of node 4, which is last node in our case, we will create a reverse link between them. So we are setting node 2's previous reference to 333, and this creates a reverse link between node 2 and node 4. And by doing so, the reverse link between node 2 and node 1 gets destroyed. Now you see that there is not any point to the node 1, which means that this becomes eligible for garbage collection. So the garbage collector comes and deletes this node from here. So with this, a deletion of the first node in circular double linked list is complete, in which we have more than one node in our circular double linked list. Now let's continue to the next case, in which we will delete a node from any given location in circular double linked list. Now let's say we have a circular double linked list like this, and we want to delete node 3 over here. So how can we do that? So here we need to go to the node 2 and change the reference of node 2 to point to node 4, and we need to update node 4's previous reference to point to node 2 over here. So how can we find the node 2 over here? So to find the node which is before the node that we want to delete, we need to loop through circular double linked list. So here we will start loop from node 1, and when we reach the location -1, we stop here. So here we will update the next reference of node 2 to the physical location of node 4 over here. So we know that physical location of node 4 in our case is 333. So we set the next reference of node 2 to 333. So by doing so, a link between node 2 and node 4 is created. So when we update the next reference of node 2 to the physical location of node 4, the link between node 2 and node 3 gets destroyed. Then the next step is we need to update previous reference of node 4 to point to node 2. So by updating previous reference of node 4 to the 111, which is physical location of node 2, this creates a reverse link between node 4 and node 2. By doing so, the reverse link between node 4 and node 3 gets destroyed. So as you see, there is not any reference which point to node 3 now, and this means that node 3 is eligible for garbage collection. So the garbage collector comes and deletes this node from here. So with this, deletion of a node from the middle of circular double linked list is complete. Here, we are just looping through the circular double linked list until we reach the location -1. Then we are setting the next reference of this node to the node which is after the node that we want to delete, and we are creating a reverse link from the next node to this node over here. Now the last case is we are deleting the last node from circular double linked list. So here again, we have two cases. The first case is we have only one node in our circular double linked list. So this is the same as when we delete first node. So here again, we need to destroy this link which points itself. So to destroy this link, we need to update previous and next references to null. So by doing so, the link that points to itself gets destroyed. Now the next step is we need to destroy the link between head and node 1. So by setting head reference to null, we destroy this link over here. Finally, we need to set tail reference to null to destroy this link over here, which points to node 1. So by setting tail reference to null, we are deleting the link between tail and node 1 over here. So now node 1 becomes eligible for garbage collection. So the garbage collector comes and deletes this node over here. So we have successfully deleted last node from circular double linked list in which we have only one node. Now let's look at the case 2 in which we have more than one node. So let's say we have circular double linked list like this and we want to delete node 4 from here. And the first step here is we will change tail reference to point to the node which is before last node. So we know that node 3 is the before last node. So the physical location of node 3 is 222. So we will set tail to 222 to create a connection between tail and the node before the last node. So we are setting tail reference to 222 and this creates a link between tail and node 3. So by doing so, the link between tail and the last node gets destroyed. So the next step over here, we are going to update the next reference of node 3 to point to node 1. Because in case of circular double linked list, we know that last node has to point to first node. So we are updating the next reference of node 3 to 001, which is physical location of node 1. So by doing so, this creates a link between node 3 and node 1 over here. So if we update the next reference of node 3 to the physical location of node 1, the link between node 3 and node 4 gets destroyed. Now we need to update first node to point to this node over here. By updating the previous reference of node 1, we are creating a reverse link between node 1 and node 3 over here. So we know that physical location of node 3 is 222. So we will set node 1's previous reference to 222. By doing so, we are creating a link between node 1 and node 3. So a reverse link from node 1 to node 4 gets destroyed. Now as you see, there is no any reference that points to node 4, so which means that node 4 becomes eligible for garbage collection. So the garbage collector comes and destroys this node over here. So with this, we have successfully deleted the node from the end of circular double linked list, in which we have more than one node in our list. Now this is all for this lecture. So in this lecture, we have learned how can we delete a node from circular double linked list in 3 different cases. First, we delete a node from the beginning of circular double linked list. Then we delete a node from the any given location in circular double linked list. Then finally, we delete last node in circular double linked list. Now in the next lecture, let's combine all these 3 cases in one algorithm, which makes our life easier when we create delete method using any programming language. So see you in the next lecture.